How compounding dividends work magic, in more ways than one. Put the power of compound dividends to work in your portfolio. So, let's explore this important concept as it relates to compounding your dividend income with dividend growth stocks. 2 ways to make compounding dividends. There are 2 ways that dividends compound. First, by reinvesting dividends. A dividend investor earns more dividends in the future off the dividend income he or she has earned in the past. Second, by holding dividend growth stocks for the long term, an investor receives company-declared dividend increases on top of prior dividend increases. Both of these concepts have a compounding cash flow effect, thus exponentially increasing the money earned from dividends over the long run, and accelerating progress to a dividend investing tipping point. Dividend reinvestment is required to compound dividends. Just like compound interest, to compound dividends you must reinvest the dividends you receive. Thus, you can't take your dividends in cash and spend them. Let's say you buy 10 shares of a company's stock for $150 per share. At the time of your purchase, the company was paying a quarterly dividend of $1.50 per share. At the end of your first quarter of ownership, the company pays you a dividend of $15, 10 shares times $1.50. Assuming the price of the stock hasn't changed and you reinvest the dividend, you now own 10.1 shares. Next, after your second quarter of owning the stock, the company once again pays a $1.50 per share dividend. As a result, your new dividend received is $15.15. As a result, you are earning dividends on your dividends, thus beginning the compounding process. Now that you know dividend reinvestment is required, allow me to explain the 2 ways to go about it. Automatic dividend compounding. The best way to reinvest dividends is to do so automatically. You can reinvest dividends automatically back into the stock paying them, just by instructing your stockbroker to do so. Or, you can participate in company-sponsored dividend reinvestment plans, thus bypassing the need for a brokerage account altogether. Manual, non-automatic dividend compounding. The other way to reinvest dividends is to do so manually. Here you purchase dividend-paying stocks through your stockbroker, but instruct your broker to deposit them in cash to your account. After a while, the cash from dividend payments will accumulate. Then, periodically take that cash and invest it in the dividend-paying stocks of your choosing. Finally, when you choose to reinvest dividends, understand that it is a great way to benefit from dollar cost averaging. Now let's cover the second way to make compounding dividends. Hold dividend growth stocks long-term to compound dividends. By investing in stocks that increase their dividend rates frequently, dividend investors enjoy a second dividend compounding effect. Let's continue our example, this time using a table to illustrate. For simplicity, I'm going to assume the company's stock price stays constant at $150 per share. Of course, our investor continues to automatically reinvest each quarterly dividend received. And here's the good news. At the start of the third quarter, the company announces a 10% increase in its dividend rate per share. Thus, each share owned now earns a quarterly cash dividend of $1.65. Better yet, a year later they announce another 10% dividend increase, increasing the dividend rate per share to $1.82. As a result, by the end of year 2, our investor is earning $19.63 in cash dividends per quarter. That's 31% more money coming in from dividends, without having to invest another penny since the initial investment. This example illustrates the power of compounding dividends. In addition, over the long run, the price of a dividend growth stock normally goes up, further increasing the investor's total return. Over time and by exercising patience, you can also create a dividend snowball effect to improve your overall financial status. This leads me to the next obvious question. Examples of compounding dividend stocks. Specifically, where do you find dividend stocks that behave like the one in the example? Well, the list of dividend aristocrats is a good place to start. Because dividend aristocrats are stocks in the S&P 500 stock market index. They have raised their dividend per share annually for at least 25 years in a row. Several examples of dividend aristocrat stocks include Automatic Data Processing, ADP, Clorox, CLX, Coca-Cola, KO, Hormel Foods, HRL, Johnson & Johnson, J&J, NextEra Energy, NEE, Real Estate Company Realty Income, O, Target, TGT, Walmart, WMT. With stocks like these and others, you can build your compounding dividend portfolio to produce a growing passive income stream. Unfortunately, what I'm talking about is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Therefore, getting started at a young age is a great idea.